Hi there. In the presentation that Carla gave with the help of Cassandra and I talked about how to use apps and technology to write social stories. This is a supplemental video in which we'll add on to what we talked about in our previous presentation, some different apps that we found that we really loved that we hope that you'll like as well, where to find them, and a little bit of how to use them. All the apps that we talk about in this video and the two that we mentioned in our presentation we found on iTunes, and all I did was type in social stories for education and it came up with dozens and hundreds of different apps to use. There's a huge variety of them. It's amazing all the stuff you can find. These two apps, Kid and Story on the left and All About Me on the right, are fairly similar, which is why I grouped them together. They're both free and they're both an insert picture apps, so you can take a picture of a student and insert them into a story. However, these are both fairly structured, so they're limited on what you can teach. They follow script formats based on the stories they provide in Kid and Story or in All About Me, based on answers the students provides. Now, All About Me could be used for helping a student identify likes and dislikes or improving their self-esteem because it's a story all about them. Kid and Story could be used for more set scenarios such as moving or cooking that they provide for you. You can make in-store purchases on both of them to expand upon, however, they're fairly rigid. This next app is called Stories About Me, and it does cost money. It's $3.99 at the App Store. However, with how versatile the app is, I think it's a decent price. It pretty much gives you free reign to just create stories however you want. You can add pictures, add audio, add text. I did not reach a page limit, and I did a social story example when I was practicing with this app of about 15 different pages. Though you wouldn't want a social story that long, it's nice to have that option. You can even share it in Dropbox, which is really nice in case you want your students to have access to it all the time. And it's very kid-friendly, which I really like. It's very easy to use. Now, these two apps you might be familiar with. They're from Autism and PDD. There are dozens upon dozens of these in the App Store from the same company and organization. They can go over pretty much any skill you need to teach. They cover a vast array of different things. What I like about them is they break down skills into very simple parts with audio and pictures for your students to go over. Then afterward, they have questions that your student can answer to see if they comprehended anything. The part I don't like is that they're very structured and they're set for you, so your students can't really make it individualized for them. However, these are a good resource if you wanted to use these as an example in order to help you create a social story for your students, or even just use a social story they provide, because they are very, very good and very well structured. Here is a link to a Google Doc which has a list of the apps that were talked about in this video, as well as the apps we referred to in Carla's presentation. Now, if you want to find more of those, you can go to the App Store, like I said, and just type in social stories, and you'll find dozens upon dozens of them. There are so many resources available to you. You will be amazed at what you can find, and you're only really limited by the creativity of yourself and your kids. I hope that some of the ideas I presented here and apps I showed you will help you in forming social stories with your students. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.